Dorothy with Dot Scrapbooking, and I am going to make a card for the Atlantic Heart Sketch Challenge. It's number 538, and I am using a stamp set called Flowers Are Like Friends. It's so pretty, isn't it? Great, just kind of a hello kind of stamp set. Thinking of you. Just want to let you know you mean a lot to me, kind of thing. So this is a really big stamp here. So I had to use my bigger block, which is probably like a, let me see, what size is it? It's pretty big. Not that one, that's like 4x4, and it was too big for that. So it's probably 5x6, something like that. Anyway, my bigger stamp block. So I'm just going to go ahead and just clear any of the little oils and stuff that come with the stamp, since I haven't used this one yet. And I'm going to ink it up real good with my intense black. Since I haven't used this before, I will just kind of try it on a piece of scrap paper and see how it prints out or inks up or stamps out, however you want to say it. So I've got some excess on there. So you want to try to get, it doesn't matter for this, but you know, when you're stamping your set, you want to make sure that you clean that off. So that's looking a little spotty. I'm going to ink it up real good some more, and that should be it. So what I decided to do, the reason why I'm using the intense black is because I can color with it. So I'm going to use my tri-blend markers, which, God, they're really nice to use for those of us who are not artists and want to add some depth. So you can add the 3 shades of the colors, the different colors, to one of the flowers, and it does give you depth. So the idea here is, I didn't make a copy of the sketch, but the sketch uses 6 blocks in the center of it. And I mean, you can, you know, this sketch is just totally open for your interpretation. People do all sorts of things. It's really interesting to see what people do, because it just kind of shows how all the different minds think. But what I wanted to do was to take this stamp set, since it's pretty big, and I am going to cut it up like in tiles and put it together sort of like a puzzle. So that was my idea, and I am coloring here. But I think I'm gonna, okay, so I'm speeding things up. This is about 400%, because you don't need to see me coloring for extended periods of time. But I am just using kind of like the lighter, let me see, is that the lighter color or the medium color? It might be the medium. And I'm just kind of adding some stripes onto the leaves. And then I'll come back. I used the darkest of the tri-blend to make the grasses at the bottom. Just because, no good reason. So I'm coming back with the lighter of the ink and filling in the places where I left the medium color stripe. And so you're getting slightly different colors or hues of the green. And, you know, so it just, a little bit of interest instead of kind of a boring same green all throughout, because not all greens are not all flowers have the same color stems or grasses. So, and I am also using, this is a darker, I don't know if it's Coral Blend, and I've got this blue, so I'm also adding that to one of the flowers. I'm just kind of being random. I'm using the medium and light and of the blue. I always miss a stem or a leaf somewhere. And so I'm adding a little bit of the dark, I don't know if that's coral, I forget. And this is a citrus yellow. And then just adding some more of the kind of dull green colors to it. You always find more stuff that you that you forgot to do. So I'll show these colors. I think this is a light pink, but I'll show these colors at the end, and you can see the various tri-blend markers that I used. But I'm doing the outside in light and the inside in the darker. You could do it just the opposite too, where the dark is on the outside and then the light is on the inside, just whatever you want. And then this is a lavender, which just was, it's so nice to have a little purple in there. And I'm just kind of doing the same kind of thing, using the lighter on the outside and the darker on the inside. Then I'm using the Spectrum Noir Gold. And I decided I was going to use some stickles, some gold stickles, but I decided I would use, this is like a gold paint, and look at how that just jumps out at you. It's just, ooh, so pretty. So I went ahead and I cut the canary yellow, which is discontinued now, but I cut it at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I cut a piece of white daisy at 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm using this dull green blend, and I'm putting the edges of the paper right against the plastic edge, and maybe, is that called the nib? Whatever where the color comes out. And so I just wanted to put an edge on the white. So that was the easiest thing. I tried to freehand it at first, and then I realized that putting the edge right up against the plastic and against the color nib, you can just ride that color right along the edge there and go pretty fast. And see, that's what I'm doing there. So I hadn't done that before. I just ran into that by accident doing this card. So that was kind of, you know, you're always teaching yourself stuff. When you're not learning from other people, you're teaching yourself. And so I'm going ahead and putting those pieces down. So I've got a little bit of the canary coming through. And I liked the canary. It kind of was a little bit more cheerful and stood out from the kind of sage green that I was thinking of using. So I'm going to put a real thin sentiment on the outside because I don't want it to take up too much of the flowers. And it's the namesake of the stamp set. It's flowers are like friends. They bring color to your world. And so I'm going to go ahead and give that a little canary edge to it. And so I went ahead and cut it. I'm edging it with the dull green again, using my new technique. Probably all of you know to do that already, but silly me, it takes me a while. So putting an edge all around. And this is going straight against the canary yellow, but then I'm going to pop the sentiment up with a little strip of the thin double stick foam. Now I'm going to place my tiles down. And so I'm using a centering ruler that I picked up at a scrapbooking convention. And I'm being silly here. I need to turn it around so I can see the zero. So I'm zeroing the center. So the edges come out to 2 1/2 to 2 1/2, and then you center at the 0. And so just a super, super simple way. And it looks like there's about 1/8 of an inch in between the tiles and the edge of the paper. It's almost like I planned it, but it was kind of luck. So I take luck with my measuring because holy moly, you can drive yourself crazy. So these the tiles are like 1 1/2 each. I think 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. Okay, so that's how the front came out. And then I'm going to do my back. This is my hallmark thing, and I'm just going to put, these are one little flower that is with the stamp set. And I'll color those because I'm not thinking. So I say I'm not thinking because when I open up the card, you'll see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and color them the same way I colored the flowers on the front. And I'm using a blue and a lavender and a, I think, pink. There we go. So now I'm going to just put a little gold center on it. I love that gold. I have to use it more. See, that's what I wasn't thinking about. And so now I have to cover that up. So I'm putting "Your friendship means the world to me" on the inside. Okay, so I thought, well, let me just go get some of my glitter tape, but it's shy of a ½ inch, and so it wasn't thick enough to cover the flowers. So I got a piece of gold scrap. The canary was also a scrap, so I went into my scrap bin and pulled these things out and covered up. You know, you can always cover up a boo-boo. You can always cover up a boo-boo. So there's my card for the Atlantic Card Sketch Challenge, and I'm giving you a close-up finally. So we've got I didn't really use that light green blend. I used the dull green, the coral shades, the lavender blend, the blue turquoise blend, the pale pink blend, and the citrus blend. So there are the colors that I used, along with the Spectrum Noir. Hope you liked it. Bye.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.